Hello and welcome back once more. Peter Vaughan speaking, continuing on my list as I'm going through here, and we're up to health and organs. Now, although I've covered a lot of ground in this area here, telling you how numbers and letters form understanding in our minds because they're both languages, why is it that we create words that seem to fit together, both positive or negative, that then cause conditions in people's lives where health is concerned? Now, in the word health up here, I've got some numbers under some of these other words I've got up, but that's the 8th letter of the alphabet, the 5th letter, the 1st, the 12th, which is 3, the 20th, which is 2, and the 8th, which is 8. So if I go through that and add that up, 8 and 5 is 13, and 1 is 14, 17, 19, 27. 2 and 7 equals 9. People who smoke can get lung cancer. So I'm going to write the word of the numbers under here, 3 and 3 and 5 and 7. Now if you haven't seen the video prior to this, the letter, where are we here? Oh, we've got 3 and 3, both for L and U. L is the 12th letter of the alphabet, and U is the 21st letter. When you add 1 and 2, you get 3, 2 and 1, you get 3. And that's why they're the same in this particular form. If I go into forensic analysis of these words, I can then go to their big numbers. But that's not for this particular video. So lung, 3 and 3 is 6, and 5 is 11, and 7 is 18, which adds to 9. Smoke, 1, 4, 6, 2 and 5. 1 and 4 is 5, and 6 is 11, 13 and 5 is 18, 9. Fat is 6, 1 and 2, 2, 3 and 6 is 9. If you abuse anything in your body will suffer. That means take it to an extreme. Little is okay, a lot is not. And so when people start to have health, people who smoke or have a lot of fat, their health can go down. They can get lung cancer and other forms of cancer. The heart adds up to the number 7. When I say adds up, that's 8 and 5 and 1 and 9 and 2. That adds up to the number 7. And when I'm doing people's life charts, as it were, to find out conditions up there, I can see what's ahead or what caused them to have in their past potentially a heart problem. And so therefore having a coronary back then, or potentially going to have a coronary up ahead, and I find out that they're abusing alcohol or other things that could affect their body, they will have a heart condition. Kidney, abuse the kidney with things like a drug. The word drug and the word kidney are the same. So people who abuse drugs like methamphetamine or any particular drug, in fact, they're putting poisons or toxins into the body that are trying to clean up. What cleans them up? The kidney tries to clean it all up all the time. So kidney sums to 5. Just to show that one there, we've got 2, 9, 4, 5, 5 and 7. 2 and 9 is 11, 15, 20, 25, 32. And 3 and 2 equals 5, and drug is the same. Now liver is a 3 word. Blood is a 3 word. And your blood and your liver are pretty much associated in a major way. Alcohol is a 3 word. What gives somebody that liver disease, liver disease, that's a good word for it. People get problems in organs when they abuse the system. And a poison, any poison going to the body can affect the heart. Because the heart's a pump. And it's pumping all the nutrients around the body. And the number 3 before, which I mentioned, had a key word. And here, 3 represents to express life and vibrancy and energy. And that's what blood is. And the old heart's pumping around life and blood and energy, but if you abuse that, you can get blood diseases like leukemia. So the kind of things that I can see with health of the organs is identifying a person's organs, the timing of their life, the areas that they could get sick in, and how to avoid that and clean it up before they get there. This is why I've been fascinated by this science, because I do not take anything that cannot be proven. And any of the stuff that you might have seen me putting on the web, where I'm talking to people about stuff, it's because I've researched it. But I'll also admit, if I've done something that I've made a mistake on, or I've made an announcement of some sort which I find was right, I thought at the time, and it's wrong, I'm the first one to stick my hand up and say I was wrong. I have no problem doing that, because nobody's right all the time. We can work toward perfection, but perfection is never reached. So therefore, total improvement all the time to get ahead in this life. So if you want to find out whether your health and your organs are up to scratch, or the kind of things that you might be susceptible to, you can discover that with the fields of work I have called Letrology and Numerology. Remember, numerology is not about numbers, just as letrology, or the alphabet, is not about the letters. It makes up the alphabet. Alpha, beta, the first two letters of the alphabet, alpha and beta, are short version down to make it the alphabet. So when you're looking at, therefore, names or words that we attribute, creating the numbers to suit it, as we've done over here, we're suiting the numbers with letrology and numerology. We label the organs in our body, and we can then find diseases. So diseases come in different patterns and different forms, and when I have graphs, or you might have seen the movie The Matrix, if you remember that from the first series, and they had on their screens these green screens of all these numbers and symbols and letters raining down. And at one stage, the guy operating it says, the woman in the red dress, he's pointing at one particular part of the screen. Well, it's kind of like that. The graphs that I produce are similar. They're not green numbers and letters and things showering down. They are, in fact, a set pattern. And I'm able to go through the static pattern and see the changes that take place in people's lives at certain times. Times when to take a risk calculated or not to take a calculated risk. When a suicide may be coming up in a person's life and overcoming that. Now, I have helped stop suicides many times in my life. Do you think my government is interested? No. They bleed, they pour money and funds into people who've got charities that they fund with millions of dollars to help keep suicide at bay, and the suicide rate is rising. I can identify a suicide condition well ahead of time, and therefore it can be overcome. The knowledge that this series of work that I do here says that when you're going through time, at any point, it doesn't matter where you are in time, I can tell you from here what happened there, what is happening now, and what will happen here. It's called predicting history. You can predict history. Making the statement, as I've done before when I predict elections, I predict the America's Cups, what's coming in. I do not gamble. I help people in share market. I don't gamble personally. They do. But I help them avoid a problem. And that's where this stuff becomes valuable. So, with health and organs then, with the knowledge that I've got, we can overcome issues here. And even when you've got someone who's got ADHD, just as an example, people in this group here often come up with the number 4. And this particular number is in their name. So if you want to make them into a genius instead of somebody who is crippled by their geniusness, no one understands the 4 very well at all. What are 4 people like? They like loyalty, honesty, integrity, hard work, but they have great difficulty understanding. Ask anybody who's called David. I happen to have a son called David. He's a great guy, but he talks technical. And until he sees it your way or you understand it his way, it doesn't fit. When we explain it together, it works wonders. These guys are geniuses, but there are other people with the same name value that have this as well. So looking at these particular fields of work that I get involved in, teaching people, helping people, overcoming things with consultations, in business, risk evaluation, checking the right staff that you've got on board, making sure that you are prepared for an event ahead, because we have accountants in a company who plot their financial future. And like the weather, they're not always right. Production managers, production formatting what's going to be taking place ahead and giving that prediction of what they're going to be doing. That doesn't always happen either. This particular field here is accurate because you can look at the entire thing, find all the weak spots, put it together. I call it group safe, and it means I can see what's coming up ahead and look at the weak spots along the way. Could you imagine a government with all decent people in there who knew what they were doing? teachers who could teach the right children the right way, using all of the other senses that come involved in it, knowing which children are susceptible to different learning types. All this stuff can be done this way, which is why I need to get this out into the world. If you're interested, I'll tell you what I need on the side. I need funding. Because of my entire life for 40 years, I have funded my own research, done it all myself. This thing here is like nothing else I've ever seen. I've never fought for money. I've fought for knowledge. I love it. Now you guys have got to have it. If you've not seen the rest of these series ahead of time, I ask you to go back and look at where I've just ticked the first box. Who am I? I'll see if I can get this right when I do my editing suite myself. I am my own bottleneck, and I'll get this up and try and get this on the web so all you guys can see it. Right now, when the world has come to a stop, someone's put a sign up and said, stop! And the world has come to a stop. Why? Because of this thing called COVID-19, which in my view is a false flag. And I have reasons for that, which is why we're going to talk about that next. So stick around for the next video. Thanks for watching. Peter Bourne signing up for this one. peterbourne.net is where my website is. And peter@111webnet.com. Catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.